House of M, issue 3. Things are now starting to heat up here in the main book. Now, I did go back and I looked at how many tie-ins there were with this event. And oh my God, I didn't realize how many freaking books there was. So yeah, I only going over the ones I got, which was Uncanny X-Men and this. That's sickening how many books there was. But I will say that to say this. One of our fellow community members mentioned in the last one that Captain America did get the super soldier serum. He says that in the Captain America tie-in, it elaborates more on Steve Rogers. So I wanted to make that correction. Appreciate you pointing that out, my friend. Now, with this one. Last issue, Wolverine, or should we say James, because he's not Logan, he's not James. He woke up in a panic. And Mystique, this universe, Mystique's like, what's wrong, James? And we see that he's kind of having these flashes of memories. We're seeing odes to Origin, to, I can't remember the issue number, but we went over it, where he teamed up with Captain America to save Black Widow and Madripoor. Of course, Weapon X program, Incredible Hulk 181, Dark Phoenix Saga, and then, of course, his tie-in, his first solo series with Claremont and Frank Miller, where we see America, and she goes, because, Gaijin, you are not worthy. When she was under, I can't remember whose spell, I think it was Ogun's or something like that. But then it's like, all of a sudden we now go to the first issue of House of M, where it says, we need to decide the fate of Wanda Maximoff. Avengers, let Emma take the lead. We have more experience with, let's just grab Xavier and get out of here. So, I like how after we get this cacophony of memories, he's just sort of quiet for a moment. He goes, let's just grab Xavier and get out of here. What? James, are you okay? Because I think you owe me one hell of a... I remember. Life. Everything. What are you talking about? What? Metaphorically? Yesterday, what did we do? The mission was successful. Is this about casualties? It's not like you. Don't beat yourself up about it. They were just some human grunts. What happened in Genosha? I don't know. I haven't seen a paper. What happened? Is Lord Magnus okay? And then there's that look of, what? What did you say? And she basically says, are you mental? Do you need to go to PsyOps to basically wipe you? And he just jumps off the helicarrier. Now, the one thing that isn't explicitly clear to me is this, maybe I missed it last issue, but is this supposed to be S.H.I.E.L.D. or is this called Magnus's army? Because their uniforms look very Victorian, like British army. But anyway, he just throws himself. And he's just looking around like, what the hell's happening? What's going on? Because we see Dazzler, floats of Spider-Man, and then, of course, the Iron Man Sentinels. And just this whole basic overstimulation for him. And now, I always talk about how I don't like overly ready, books, where the dialogue just feels like it's going on and on and on. But this, what I like is, okay, after Wolverine kind of heals himself, he picks up a paper and it's called The Pulse. The House of Magnus, big day, trouble for Captain Marvel. So you're essentially reading a newspaper. And when you turn the page, it looks like you're actually reading one. And it shows how the queen of, Eric Magnus and Princess Aurora of Kenya. So we see that instead of becoming an X-Men, she stayed in Kenya and became the princess. We see that Namor's coming out to celebrate Magneto. Dr. Octavius is working on mutant stem cell debate to try to enhance regular sapiens so that they don't get wiped out. Because that's the big heated thing in this universe is the sapiens, the regular Homo sapiens are the minority, while Homo superior is dominating. That's why last issue, Hank Pym and Hank McCoy are both working in Stark's labs, and Hank's trying to isolate the X gene, and Hank's like, don't do that. That is essentially a very racist and hot topic to do. We see that Peter's essentially living a normal life. There are sapien splinter cells, all sorts of weird things going on. And what I like is how it says, hot as hell, cold as ice. And what I love is right here in the middle, it says, Ralph Macchio, comics guru, makes the House of Ideas the largest print publisher on the planet. So just like how in the middle of all this, Tony Stark, Alison Blair, Jason Weigard, Warren Worthington, and the Hellfire Club, they just throw that little comic nod. That's cool. And it's just interesting to see how Otto Octavius does not become Doc Ock, and how Peter is essentially kind of living a normal life to a degree, which I'm not sure. I haven't read this tie-in, so if you guys want to fill me on what happens with Spider-Man, I know allegedly he's married to Gwen Stacy, which in my personal opinion is what he should be. But I just like how he's reading this paper, and it just brings the readers up to date in a sort of semi-fourth wall, not fourth wall way. And then, where is it? Jump some pages. Sorry, guys. Where is it? After he's reading, Logan steals the bike. Okay, so I'm not quite there yet. Logan steals a bike because on his mind, the only real question at this moment is, where's Charles Xavier? So he comes to 1407 Gray Malkin Lane. No Charles Xavier there. And no one knows what the hell he's talking about. He tries and he tries, and he ends up running into his squad. And this is what I meant by Victorian outfits. He goes, Agent Drew. And Jessica's like, the hell is wrong with you, James? You scared the crap out of us, Sugar. So we see this Rogue. And then I hate this version of Toad. I miss when he was the more creepy looking version that we got from the 90s. X-Force, this green. I hate this version of Toad so much. Anyway, we're your team. If there's something going on, Shield Command. All right. So again, the mistake. She goes, this is Red Guard Agent Starcombe. We have him. James, seriously, do what Agent Drew says. He's popped a stitch. Too bad. He just clocks Jessica, one of his longtime friends, goes on the run. And we get this one hell of a chase across Manhattan. And as the book comes to a close, Logan's confused out of his mind because he doesn't remember who this universe's Logan is. He knows what happened before Wanda changed reality. And so here, he has to cut a deal and make some teammates that are kind of, in this universe, on unlikely sorts, even though Logan knows who. And who's the enforcer? It's kind of interesting and actually kind of makes a little bit of sense in this universe. So House of M, as I just said, this book picks up and you start to feel the powder keg that's starting to build up now that Logan is essentially, as I said, a man at a time. So if you guys have enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever it is that get your action figures and comics and grab this series. If you've enjoyed this review, really would appreciate taking a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little M bell, next subscribe, that way as I get more content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and I love talking with you and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments or the socials, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.